All right, hello, friends, enemies, and everyone in between, as always. I am Jackson Wood. That's right, as always, I'm Jackson Wood. Uh, I am in, as you may have noticed, a new setup from the last time I have moved residences since the turn of the new year. So I'm just at a new location, which is why I'm making sure everything works correctly, working with some latency things. So if the stream is a little bit different today compared to normally, that might be a factor. Just let me know in the chat so that I can make sure everything's working properly, we're all on the same page, we're having a good time. But I am, as always, Jackson Wood, the marketing and events coordinator. I also deal with sales, so if you're a retailer and you want to carry our games, let me know. If you're a consumer and you want to know how to talk to us to get our games or to find a retailer who has our games so you can buy local, also talk to me. And then if you're for some reason a distributor that I haven't talked to and you want to carry our games to sell to the retailers, to sell to the customers, talk to me. All those things, I'm going to talk to you. But what a wild week it has been. I'm going to drink some of this coffee to get into this. What a wild week it's been for us. What a wild week it's going to be next week. We have some exciting things to talk about in today's episode of Jackson Rambles. I'm going to be talking about Naruto. I'm going to be talking about Japanime Tactics. I'm going to be talking about Team Japanime. A lot of things. This week it's a jam-packed episode compared to the previous sort of holding pattern weeks. So where to begin? Let's start talking about Japanime Tactics. So, Japanime Tactics, fun update. Things are moving along. We are getting approvals closer. We are really excited, as always, to work with Psy Games. They are so much fun to uh, collaborate with to make this first experience, the Grand Blue launch of Japanime Tactics, the core of Japanime Tactics, be so seamless. It's a ton of fun so far. I just played a game with Josh, the designer, primary designer, 2 days ago on Wednesday, and tons of fun. We're testing promo characters right now. Spoiler alert: they might not end up being. They might end up just being set in specific sets as well. But we have some fun surprises with that. So we're working on that kind of stuff. Having worked out a pretty decent timeline overall for the project. I'm really excited about it. I love getting to do the design work. Playtesting is one of my favorite things. And if you want to playtest Japanime Tactics, well, let me tell you, you should talk to me, reach out, because that might be an opportunity for you. We always love having new playtesters. We always love having the ability to talk about that stuff. And there's a really good chance once things get approved that we're going to be able to start doing live streams of playtests and maybe some other fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. That part's going to be really exciting to me. Uh, so moving from there, let's talk about Kickstarter stuff. And as always, just peppering in. If you're watching, you can always ask questions as I'm sort of recapping, because I'll sort of ramble with you and talk about that. But Kickstarter thing, as usual, things are moving along. There have been some delays that we talk about every week due to shipping containers or uh, room on vessels or approvals because of proofs, things like that. And so we're just kind of waiting for a number of projects, but we're really excited to get them into your hands. You may have noticed that the BESM Extras stuff is being shuffled along because that was, you know, done by Dice Committee. It wasn't done through us, but we're still working with the distribution component to it in a variety of locations. And so, those things are starting to arrive, which is really exciting. which means other fun things have started to arrive that we had set before that. Next month is going to be tons of fun. February is going to, we're already into February. It's the end of January right now. February is going to have a ton of stuff. I have 3 different things I want to get to talk to you about between February and March, in addition to getting to hopefully deliver a number of these projects that we had hoped to get done in 2020. But it's a really exciting time. So that kind of wraps up the Kickstarter stuff right now. If you have specific Kickstarter questions, like please ask me. I will answer it to the best of my ability, as always. But uh let's go from Kickstarter to what's next. Let's talk about Naruto. Naruto Ninja Arena. We are really, really excited to open up pre-orders next week. So if you're watching this, guess what? Next week in February, we're going to start opening pre-orders. And it's going to be a special pre-order. It's different than previous pre-orders. It's going to be kind of like if we get a certain number. If you saw the Adventure Zone pre-order, Kickstarter, it's not quite a little Kickstarter, but we're going to be looking for a certain number of people to place a pre-order. And in doing so, if we hit certain thresholds, you're going to get some other goodies. But you're going to get a goodie in general just for pre-ordering it. We're excited about that. It should be fun. And then there's going to be a threshold goodie. I mean, there should be a goodie for free with it, if memory serves. I don't think things have changed. If they have, then I am woefully misinformed, and I am misinforming you, and I'm sorry. But should be you get something just for the pre-order. Uh, then if we hit a certain threshold, there'll be extra fun things for everybody, which will be tons of fun. But to talk about it, it is a simultaneous dice throwing combat game. So you are going to be battling it out against your other players to end up being the last one standing. It takes place during the very early quintessential Chunin exams of the series, where they are going to get that promotion to go from the genin that they are to become, one step up in rank in their village. And it turns out to be that sort of multi-village exam where a bunch of stuff ends up happening. If you didn't watch it yet, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about stuff. So that's the backdrop for it. But everybody has their own dice pools. You're all throwing at the same time. You're trying to match abilities. When you do, you get to assign damage out to your other players. And then when somebody activates their big final ability, if they get all the dice for that, they slap the symbol in the middle, and everything stops. And then you allocate damage. You activate the abilities appropriately. Uh, and then you continue from there. And if you have certain like damage markers on you, that's how you hit those like wound thresholds and go to finding out who the overall winner is over the course of it. It plays quick. It's tons of fun. Of course, I mean, I'm a marketing person. You can only trust me so far, but I will say that I am not the kind of person who likes simultaneous action games. I never really enjoyed Pit, the stock market trading game where you have to ring the bell in the middle. That was never my jam. That's the thing that this most sort of relates to me. But for some reason, like the dice throwing aspect and like the give and take, the fact that it's a little bit less social than Pit, it puts it in such a sweet spot for me, and it plays so well, and it's so quick and fun that I love it. The extra benefit there too is our particular version. If you're in France, there's a base game, and then there's the Genin expansion. We have just bundled it all together, so you get the base game plus the expansion from Japanime Games, all as one. It gives you a little bit of a benefit in terms of the cost to you as well. We were able to sort of make that a little bit easier by packaging it all together into one box, which is really exciting. And that also takes it, the base game originally was 1 to 4, taking it up to 5 to 6 with the expansion. Ours gets you all of the characters between both, and it takes you to that 6-player maximum right out of the box. So I'm really excited for that, especially when we can have bigger gatherings. I'm lucky in that I have a household of other people who like to play games, so we can actually do stuff together, which I know not everybody does. For that, my heart goes out to most of you. So that's the big thing with Naruto. You're going to get a bunch of fun stuff with that coming up. Going from that, I want to talk about one of our recent other sort of collaborative experiences, which is with Six Sides of Gaming, which is Tommy Gofton up in Canada with Team Linvander, who we are working with on Japanime Tactics, which is really exciting. And they've just been getting together because they have this sort of quarantine bubble to play games together. And Tommy is fun. He's an actor. The Linvanders put out a ton of great games otherwise as well. It's always kind of funny because they have a Cowboy Bebop game. We have a Cowboy Bebop game. You know, Naruto games. Like, it just seems to happen. But Linvander, they're great. They're working on the Divinity board game as well. They've put out, as I said, they've put out a number of other fun games. And again, they're a dream to work with. So it made sense to work with them for this streaming project that Tommy's working on. He's such an industrious human being up there in Canada. And so they had their first episode with our game, Heart of Crown, last night, and it was a blast. And if you get the chance, you should go back and check it out. I'm going to put a link in the description of the video after I'm done, so when you go back and watch, you can be like, yeah, mostly because I don't think I have it right now. But it was a ton of fun. Tommy's great. I miss him in person, personally. Like, so shout out to Tommy. One of these days, when physical conventions come back, I will get to see you again. And me, being part of Team Japanime, when I first met Tommy, I was wearing bright yellow boots with blue laces. So these bright yellow boots with these like neon blue laces. And I had this bright blue hair, as you've seen kind of fading in my hair these days, which are the Team Linvander colors. So it only made sense that we would hit it off as friends immediately. And I have fallen in love with the friendship and camaraderie of Team Linvander. So I cannot speak highly, even more highly of them. Like, it's the highest it can go. They're amazing people. Uh, so with that said, let's talk about Team Japanime in general. If you want to do volunteer work with us, if you'd like to be compensated for that work and also get other goodies, reach out to me at marketing@ggdistribution.com. You can find it in any of the correspondences if you check my email. Otherwise, just marketing@ggdistribution.com, or hit me up in the Discord, which you can also find. And then you can just chat with me. We'll get you set up with being part of Team Japanime. And it's just a way for me. We have so many virtual conventions and big shows and fun stuff we want to do throughout the year, and I always need help. Always. And it's a great way for you to get a foot in the industry, to get to meet people. Virtual conventions are a little weird, don't get me wrong, but it gets you to have a rapport with me, it gets you to have a rapport with other fans. It builds friendships. I've met a number of amazing people working with Team Japanime. So I'm getting a little choked up. It's a personal thing for me. I love our support staff is what I like to call it. I don't like calling people volunteers. So yeah, like, if you like working with other people, if you want to make new friendships, one, come into our Discord, hang out, talk to other people, chat about games, have fun. We're gonna start doing some more stuff with that, which I'm gonna talk about next. But two, like, it gives you an opportunity to play our games, potentially, depending on the level of like work that's necessary, either get games for free or like actually get compensated. It's a really awesome program. I'm grateful that our company actually likes to compensate our support staff. So definitely hit me up for that if that's something you're interested in. Which I think will lead me into the final point for tonight before I bounce, because I haven't seen any questions yet. Uh, which is our Discord. We're gonna start trying to do some more like scramble style events. So maybe doing some playthroughs of games randomly in some new channels that I'm gonna be making, or uh, doing some live stream stuff. I'm hopefully going to be doing some really cool stuff with an amazing one of these people from Team Japanime. person that's worked with us a number of years and is just a wonderful delight of a human being. I'm really excited to introduce that. But we have some fun stuff planned that I think will help the community flourish a little bit more and be more communicative and engaging with one another. Because I see all the conversations you all have when you're actually having them, and they're tons of fun. And I want to foster more of that. And so we're gonna try to put more back into that. And so that's the kind of thing there. So I'm gonna start winding down as I do, and I'm just putting my little time markers in as I go, so I can go put those back in for you all later. But as we begin to wind down, I know there's a good like 5 to 10 second delay. This is the great opportunity to ask me your questions, check in with me, uh, ask specific questions. It doesn't have to be just about our stuff. It could be about things that you might be doing lately, or what's on the horizon. There's no wrong question, and I will, as always, answer it to the best of my ability. So if I can't answer it, I'll just tell you I can't, and if I can give you a reason why, I'll do that too. But I'm just kind of here to hang out. Otherwise, I'm just going to type a few things to some people that were asking some questions of me in the work side of things, and just chill with you all. But how wild has this week been? The retail investors, like the whole Wall Street bets business, that's just so wild. I laughed. A friend of mine had been gifted a stock of GameStop ages back through Robinhood, and now this whole thing's going on with all this goofy nonsense, and it's amazing to watch what this year has already brought in for us here in America, and the things that are impacted by that. That's been my weekly like, what is going on? I try to keep informed and on top of things while doing my diligence as a marketer of always taking more classes to improve, and going to more seminars, and more discussions. It's a never ending process. But that was the one thing this week that held my attention more than anything else. It's wild. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out like I said. This will be the very boring part for people who are replaying, being like, "What is he talking about?" As he just talks to himself. But ask me questions. Let me know what you're curious about. I would love to answer those questions for you. I want to, sometimes it might be a small thing that's important to you that doesn't affect a lot of other people, but I would like to help with it if I can, or give you some insight. I'm always happy to talk about what I do in the industry. So talking about how I'm looking to optimize ads to an extent without giving away my secrets, or which tact I tried to take in regards to how we market. So talking about transparency in my messaging, and transparency in how we write and communicate to the consumers, as well as to other members of the industry or to distributors. Like having clear communication channels, being very straightforward. That's a value I hold dear, and is a topic that I like to talk about regularly in our industry. Beyond that, in just terms of things that we'd love to do, I was really excited that our first artist, shifting gears here, rambling as I do at the end, our first artist for the Akiko project was like, I was really grateful that they made what they did. That New Year's piece was phenomenal. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. There's another piece coming really soon from another artist that I'm excited to showcase. I got thumbnails for that. That was a lot of fun. I've just started a couple of other pieces. So it's going to be a really exciting 2021, at least for us here at Japanime Games. But I didn't see any questions, which is, you don't have to, but I always love it when you do. But much love as always. Thank you, the community, for being there for us, and making it so that we get to keep doing the really cool things that we do, and get to keep enjoying your love of them with us. So until next week, I'm Jackson Wood, and I ramble a lot. Take care.